Hello everyone, good morning, welcome to the Redmen TV for some breaking news. Yes, the Ibrahima Konate transfer. I don't think we can call it a saga because it seems to have been wrapped up pretty quickly. Anyway, regardless, it's been kicked into high gear, foot to the floor, pedal to the metal for the last stage of this. Paul Joyce has picked it up, he has ran with it, and he has delivered this magnificent tweet for your Friday morning. Liverpool expect to complete the transfer of Ibrahima Konate in the next 48 hours. Agreements with player on personal terms and also RB Leipzig now in place. Exit clause value is 36 million. So yes, Ibrahima Konate closing in on that Liverpool deal. £36 million, which is kind of falls in there or thereabouts what we expected. We'd heard it could have been as high as 40. There was some talks that it was 35 million euros, but Paul Joyce is putting it at 36 million pounds, which it seems a pretty reasonable deal for a guy rated so highly. 22-year-old centre-half. I think he's at the French under-21 team at the moment. We've got another couple of bits and pieces on this. Sky Sports also running with this as well. They say Liverpool have triggered Konate's 36 million release clause and hope to finalise the deal in the next few days. Discussions are underway. Sorry, bear with me. Those adverts are horrendous. Yeah, River Island is great. I'm not a 21-year-old girl, so I'll move on. Konate, discussions are underway between Liverpool and Leipzig for the 22-year-old centre-back. Konate made 21 appearances for Leipzig this season, including 8 Bundesliga starts as the club finished second, 13 points behind champions Bayern Munich. The French under-21 international with Boucher and Klopp's defensive options, blah, 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 blah. The Athletic have picked up a little bit on this as well. Signing an elite centre-back has long been the priority for Liverpool this summer, writes James Pearce. It's the area of Jurgen Klopp's squad that most desperately needs reinforcing after a season blighted by a defensive injury crisis. Athletic revealed in March that Liverpool had planned to sign him. Liverpool prepared to trigger the release clause of 35 million, which is what they've got here, which has to be paid in one lump sum rather than instalments, which is a really interesting part of this. Let me know your thoughts on the Konate deal in the comments. I'll read through some of the best ones in a moment but I will carry on with this. Klopp views the 22-year-old as having all the qualities required to compete for the right to partner Virgil van Dijk at the heart of the back four. At 6'4", he's aerially dominant but also comfortable with the ball at his feet. His pace is ideally suited to Liverpool's high-line style. Liverpool also considered the merits of Villarreal's Pau Torres and Duje Caleta-Car of Marseille, but view Konate, who's made nearly 100 appearances for Leipzig in all competitions since arriving from French side Sochaux in 2017. That's a mouthful, James. As the as the more complete package with greater long-term potential. Any concerns around Konate's injury record have already been alleviated by medical tests. He's currently fully fit and preparing to face Holland in the quarterfinals and the Under-21 Championships on Monday. Yes. So what do we think? Ibrahima Konate, not quite done, but very, very close. Stuart Wisby here in the comments saying Konate's a great purchase. Like Gomez, he's already top class and so young he could easily play 10 years plus for the mighty Redmen. I love a good when we sign someone like he could be the centre half for the next 10 years. Go ahead, sounds. Let's very much hope that's the case. I've got a lot of people obviously talking about injury proneness and what have you. It's something that we will be looking at. So obviously when it's confirmed, we'll be putting out a special over on the redmentv.com. Redmen Reacts. Chris and I will be looking into a bit more depth and detail into the player and have a good old chat about what it means for Liverpool, what he could bring to the table, etc., etc. So do subscribe to the website if you want a bit more on the whole Konate thing. I will look into the injury proneness because, look, again, the Athletic are saying it's not an issue, but also, random faceless accounts on Twitter are telling me that he's the most injury-prone player since Darren Anderton. But which is funny because most of the people are of an age that don't even know who Darren Anderton is who are posting this stuff, so that's mad. But yeah, really interesting. Let's see, Liam Morris, he says, buzzing with this news. It shows FSG are backing Klopp finally. I mean, I know it's a nice, easy, when we do something good, it's like FSG somehow end up getting with a backhanded slap across the face for it. I mean, it's not like he hasn't been backed, but look, the point is when Liverpool need a player, they tend to go out and get a player, particularly in the summer. Less so in January, but when they need to go and fill holes in squads, we've got an excellent track record of getting good business done very early. I mean, I can't help but think back the best example being Fabinho. I mean, you could argue Naby Keita getting signed a whole season before could be one of them as well. But Liverpool and Klopp likes to have his business done so that when pre-season starts, he's got as many guys available. He can get his arms around them and get the fitness and the tactical work done as soon as possible. It will be very, very interesting. Jim83 saying he's a future Ballon d'Or runner-up to Big Nat Phillips. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, there's a good point from Sir Klopp. Konate, 36 million, and Slabhead, 80 million. Great business. I mean, I'm presuming he's talking about Harry Maguire there. Harry Maguire's a good centre-half, isn't he? He's not an 80 million pound centre-half. Let's be perfectly clear of it. Yeah, and a bunch of people going to bat in terms of like Liverpool's spend record or whatever. I think it sounds, again, I've pointed out this before. I think Liverpool are on the verge of rebuilding the relationships. You see in Spirit of Shankly going to be having representatives on Liverpool's board, all positive steps forward. Liverpool managed to maintain their place in the Champions League, which is huge in terms of all of this. And now it looks like we're about to box off our first summer signing to sort out a situation that Liverpool have got a real problem in, and that's centre-halves. We look at what we've had this season. The worst thing that can happen for Liverpool is to replicate this season again next year, and the best way to insulate against that is to have as many bodies as possible. I spoke to Neil Jones of goal.com in the week. That's streaming right now on the redmentv.com. He talked about Konate, he talked about Kabak and why they've maybe not pursued that deal. We also talked about the future of Nat Phillips and the future of Reece Williams as well. Really interesting stuff. And he also gave a little bit of insight as to, the question was like, the whole there's no smoke without fire, and we've seen this with Konate. I said, what can you see any smoke on the horizon for future transfers? He answered that question really well. So yeah, some insider insight into what Liverpool could be doing with the rest of the transfer window. Me and Neil Jones streaming right now on the redmentv.com. Lots of people saying that we need to pick up a centre forward. Obviously, I've got an Air Marshall, Ayub saying thoughts on Basuma. I think Basuma sounds, it looks very good in the games that I've seen him play against us, but I couldn't tell you that I was an Yves Basuma expert by any stretch. But yeah, Liverpool, for me, need to go and get a centre-half, they need to get a centre-mid, and they need to probably get a centre-forward, or at least one more versatile goal-scoring, pacey goal-scorer for the front three. It's early days, it's early doors. Will Liverpool do it? And who do you think those people should be, to be honest? Ethsham asking, Paul, what are your thoughts about his injury record? I'll be honest, I don't really know his injury record yet. I said we're going to do a Redmen Reacts on the website. That'll be going out over the weekend where I'll have a little bit of a deeper dive into it, so I don't want to give any false information. From what I can remember from looking at it months and months ago, I think it's a little overstated. I think it's important to remember at 21, 22, he's just coming out of the back of, he's only just finished growing, so I think you find players have early injury problems in their career. Steven Gerrard, prime example of this. They can be managed out. I think if you were signing someone, let's say like you're signing Harry Kane at 28, and he's got injury problems, they're not injury problems that are going to go away. They're injury problems that are going to get worse. We saw this happen with like Sergio Aguero over the last few years of his career. So Liverpool are not soft. And I know we say this, like Liverpool have got a lot of players who've got injury prone, but Liverpool play a very physically intense brand of footy, both on and off the pitch and in training as well. You've got to pass extreme medical tests to become a Liverpool player. So if they've done that, and that's all the word is that he's already done that, I wouldn't worry too much about what's gone before, because yeah, it sounds like Liverpool have got their head screwed onto all that. See people talking about Tielemans, Basuma, De Paul, no idea, but yeah, who would be your dream signing? I've done a video on my YouTube channel actually, who my dream signing for the summer would be. At MHTV, you can check that out as well. But yes, we're going to wrap that up right there. Thank you so much for joining us, Ibrahima Konate. In the next 48 hours, stay tuned to the channel. We'll have more. We're going to be doing a Redmen Reacts, and I say I've been chatting to Goal.com's Neil Jones for more transfer insight. That is streaming right now on the redmentv.com. Sign up, and if you sign up now, inside your first month of subscription, you're going to get the Jordan Henderson 10 Years of Red documentary series as well. More on that to come over the coming days as well. So yes, stay tuned to everything that we're doing. We love you guys. Have an amazing weekend, and yeah, hopefully we'll see the announcement of Ibrahima Konate in the coming days. Can't wait.
If you're a parent of a daughter, you'd love your daughter to marry that man.
Top skipper, top captain, huh?
The dressing room's a much better place with people like him.
Well, he's a top class player, no doubt about that.
And although he might say he's been truly happy working at Liverpool. It's Liverpool that should be grateful.
A night I will never forget in my life.
To give a special trophy to a special guy at a special football club, it doesn't get much better, does it?